let's talk real quick about another Google service, a free one. This is called Google Tag Manager. Now, I highly recommend you set up a Google Tag Manager account. And what Google Tag Manager is this. So a lot of these different services use little pieces of code that are going to go at the top of the HTML of your web pages in order to track the visitor counts and where they came from and the demographics and how they interacted with your site, and if they converted, they opted in, or if they made a sale. We can track all that with Google Analytics, but we can track even more than that with pixels and with other cookies that we can use through other services in order to remarket and retarget those people later, which we're going to cover later on in this course, how we can do specific ad campaigns to display ads only to people that came to our site before, or only to people that came to a certain page before. We can do some very, very powerful things. Well, in order to track all those people that come and go from our site and then to retarget them later, we have to do some things with tags, and we have to be able to kind of set cookies and pixels and other technology on their browsers. So when they're going around the internet outside of our site, the ad networks pick up and read that code, and it all relates back to our pixels and cookies and things that we've dropped on their browser for us to be able to do things. It's a bit complicated in the technology, but it's super cool and very powerful, and you'll start to understand it as it all comes together. So Google Tag Manager allows you to put a little snippet of code at the top of all your pages, and if you use WordPress, you can put it in the header area one time, and it'll be used across all the different pages that you ever create with WordPress. If you use any other kind of content management system, you can use it once, usually in the main header area, that will be used across all of the different pages. So there are a number of different ways to add it. But once you add this Google Tag Manager code, it's like a little container. Then in order to add new tags and other code to your pages, you no longer have to mess with the HTML. So you may need to, pay someone $50 or something one time to go in and do this work for you to add this Google Tag Manager code to your pages. If you don't know how to do it, because it is a little technical. But once it's added, you don't have to have anyone mess with the HTML anymore. Then you can come in and use Google Tag Manager, and I'm going to show you how to do this in an upcoming lesson here in just a second in this module of how we can add Google Analytics as well as Facebook pixel tracking, which we'll want to do because we're going to use that a lot in the future. And we can do all that through Google Tag Manager without messing with the code on our pages. So once we have that little container of Google Tag Manager already put in the HTML on all our pages, then we can log in through the web into Google Tag Manager and add other code or add other things that will automatically affect the loading of our pages and what things it's tracking and everything else through the little Google Tag Manager code we add one time. So sorry if that's a little confusing and everything else, but basically what Google Tag Manager does is it makes it convenient and easy for us to add the tracking and things to our web pages that we may want to add later or in different layers or to do different things, but we won't have to edit the code on our pages anymore. We just go in and do it all through Google Tag Manager. So you'll see how it comes together.